Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon. So they raised the minimum wage to $15. They're going to be starting next month. And of course, this is like one of the second largest company, man, in the United States, actually all over the world, because besides Apple, they surpasses $1 trillion. It's the second largest company, and it just makes me think that of course they're above the minimum wage of Walmart. Walmart is a multi-billion-dollar company, and they're paying their customers really below the poverty line. So $7.25 an hour. You got many individuals have to work like 2 or 3 jobs just to to take care of themselves because of that income. And like you got all these multi-billion-dollar companies. You want to wonder that, okay, do they really care about the customer? So at the end of the day, you kind of need them as fuel to actually get your company running, so you continue to make more money like the people up there at the top. But most importantly though, Senator Bernie Sanders, he was very kind of okay with this. He was very happy with this, and he really wanted other fast food industries and tech companies, man, that's just paying their employees the federal minimum wage to actually increase it, because Jeff Bezos, he stated that, listen, this is a good incentive, and also too, we all about leadership, and I want my customers and my workers to be happy, so I can continuously to have labor, and continuously only just to make more money, but just have this an efficient service, man, and basically just worker friendly, man, because you want to restore that communications and that relationship with your federal employees. So he understood that, how important that is. But it kind of makes me think that even though it's a 2-year decade, why doing this now? And this could have been done like 10-15 years ago. But at the same time though, we do live in a capitalistic society. I just think that this is going to benefit. According to Reuters, they said it's going to benefit over 100,000 I'll say seasonal federal employees, and 250,000 U.S. Amazon workers. This is it's a good. It's actually kind of probably pretty cool in a way if you guys work at Amazon. I know they actually built a new Amazon place at downtown Detroit, so Dan Gilbert is bringing in other individuals meant to work there, so it's actually good for employment. But at the end of the day, man, you got to sit up here and you got people saying, well, it's okay to work minimum wage jobs as long as you're investing in yourselves, and you can probably make millions of dollars over the past decade if you next decade if you continue to invest in yourself, go to business seminars, which is good though. But a lot of people don't have that entrepreneurial spirit, and I kind of hear those type of rhetoric and that tactics going on here in America, that, well, I used to work being a dishwasher for $5 an hour, and now 7 years later I work for a multi-million dollar company, because I actually took the initiative. I actually got out there and I worked my butt off. But you got people who works really hard every single day and still got to go into boxes or live in trash cans or live with other family members just to to stay afloat. And because the increasing labor is going up. I mean, you got inflation, all those type of things, man. The housing, renting properties are increasing on a day-to-day basis, but barely enough though. You got the wages always remains the same, and it's constant. It's never like too much a $20 raise. It's always like a $2 raise over the past couple years, or based on your good performance you can still get like a 50-cent raise, but that's not equivalent, and it's not in good relation to the housing market. Or you got companies that constantly just utilizing their bills, and it continuously to grow up, that people are using on a day-to-day basis, man. Water bill, you got gas prices, people that's actually trying to struggle. So I can't sit up here and say that it's a lot of lazy workers out here. And even though it's a few, you got them in every single country. And I do believe that you can control your destiny. You don't have to subject yourself to working in a company. And if you don't like their minimum wage, and you don't get the wages that they give you, I mean, you can invest yourself, go to college, but you got people with master's degrees that still, are managers at different low-tech stores, man. It's like, Toys R Us has just dropped down. You got Home Depot. You got people at managers at Home Depot got master's degrees. Not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but it's all about your individual ideas and your networking. But I will say this, that I guess this maybe other corporations are going to copy this, man, because Jeff Bezos, he's all pretty much the most wealthiest person in the world right now. I mean, besides Bill Gates. I don't know how much they pay the Microsoft corporation employees. I think you got to have like a degree. But with Amazon, where people have low entry level jobs, they actually depending on this to abstain and obtain that, which you want to say, the American dream. but that big house here and the into white fence, picket fence, get marriages and all that stuff, man. They kind of depend on the livelihood of these companies, and sometimes, like the executives and the CEOs don't really care. Now, I'm not saying that Jeff Bezos is doing this because he cares for his employees like that 100%. It could be that it's just another way for him to continue to make more money, continue that legacy of his behind, because I'm gonna attract more individuals, more people to work for me. That doesn't have like a top-notch degree. That's just want to go out here and go into the work field outside of after school or anything with a high school diploma. So, but it's all limitations on that though. But I just kind of feel like it's all right, But maybe this may be a Democratic suit that Bernie Sanders is going to use and try to implement and try to enforce other companies, man, to like, hey, raise your prices up. I do believe that is very, very disgusting, man. In America, that if you're making $7.25 an hour, and they expect you to just just to live off that, and they would say, like, listen, this is the minimum wage. If I can pay you less, I would, but this is what I'm required to. I mean, and this is like type of the attitudes that a lot of employers kind of have. Man, I'm not saying that this is they should have that on top of that, but I mean, you can't blame them, man. I mean, this is why I feel like it's mediocre. They have mediocre performances. The customer services are low. You go to little low star ratings. You look at some people make probably good money for the company, but it could be just low staffing. Also, a lot of people leave jobs because they want new promotions. They're not getting that. They feel like they just going around in a circle, man. It's just like a hamster wheel. They not really feel part of the company, not moving up, not getting engaged into the meetings, not having any type of suggestions. And so a lot of big corporations have to take initiative to that, man. They have to take that in concern, and you wonder why people are leaving, but you need them, so because you're not going to be on that front line providing products, man, and doing all those connections. At the end of the day, your job is to supervise and make sure the money and the revenue is continuously increasing, and that you having new better ways and efficient services. So I mean, as Americans, even the Generation X and the Boomer generation that's still trying to retire and make a lot of money, man, a lot of them don't even have $5,000 worth of emergencies, man, because they too busy trying to, retire in the little wage they have, and come up with the expenses. So I always just wonder, like in America, that why is that, the corporations, they can start you off for a little bit based on your skills, but at the same time, man, it's not too much of an increase. It's like you got at least wait 1 to 2 years. Even if you go to your job every single day, you work really hard. I mean, I'm talking about you putting in that overtime. Sometimes, you neglect different things, like you had to sacrifice going to weddings or just different events outside your job, man, so you can make that money and so you can pay for your bills. You get like a 50-cent raise, and then you wonder why other people just leave corporations, start their own businesses, man, or just go into the arts, man, because at the same time, as human beings, we're valuable, and we just want a comfortable lifestyle. But a lot of us rely on these corporations. But I just think this is maybe a decent move for Jeff Bezos. This is not the first. $15 an hour for everybody use Amazon. It's #1 search engine besides Google, and I don't know, man. The multi-billionaires, man. You just got to think, man. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just a lot of greed going on, but I just think I feel this is okay. I don't know how. I know it's going to increase to maybe $16, $17 an hour as well, because it depends, like I said, where you live at in America, man. How to sustain a substantial income, or the housing market, because the housing market, man, it can go down, up, down anytime. And if you don't have a good amount of money, man, if you're not making a certain amount of money an hour or a year, it can be detrimental to you, man. And evictions, all that stuff can cause. And also too, as Americans, we're consumerizing. We always love materialistic things. A lot of us live above our means, man. Buying cars that we cannot afford, buying clothes we cannot afford, or just to stun, or just to buy things emotionally, just to tell people that we made it in life. But it's like a front thing. But anyway, that's all I got to say about this whole Amazon thing, man. I think it's a little real interesting, though. So I'm just going to see, man. I guess it's a good thing for employers, man. You guys continue to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me guys what you think, man. I'm out.